President Trump is preparing to send troops to the border. A new wildfire broke out in Southern California, and someone in Greece tried to ditch an ancient goddess. That's some of what we'll get to on the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Thursday, January 23rd. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. President Donald Trump sat down for his first TV interview since his inauguration. Trump had a wide-ranging chat on Fox News yesterday with Sean Hannity, who's one of his closest TV allies. He used it to elevate exaggerated claims about immigration. He defended his pardons of Capitol rioters. He advanced attacks against his political opponents. And he made this threat to withhold federal aid from fire-ravaged California.
I don't think we should give California anything until they let water flow down into their...
It's from the north to the south.
This is a political thing. I don't know what it is.
Trump was repeating a false claim he has made several times before, that California's Democratic leaders have refused to allow water from the northern part of the state to flow down into the Los Angeles area. In reality, LA does not get its water from the Northern California systems that Trump described. And in any case, withholding aid or making it conditional would be a significant change to how the government usually responds to natural disasters. We're sticking with Trump for number 2. The president is preparing to send around 10,000 troops to the southern border. This is according to a Customs and Border Protection briefing document obtained by the Post. It said that troops will support Border Patrol agents who are under new orders to shut off access to asylum. The order also directs border agents to block entry to migrants on the grounds that they have passed through countries where communicable diseases are present. But it doesn't cite any specific health threat. In Mexico, migrants who have waited months to enter the U.S. are now stuck. Some who had appointments with U.S. immigration officers to pursue asylum claims have had their meetings abruptly canceled. This is just one early glimpse into the real-world application of the executive orders that Trump issued on Monday. Number 3. The House of Representatives passed the Laken Riley Act. Laken Riley was a nursing student who was killed in February by an undocumented immigrant in Georgia. The bill named after her would allow for the detention of undocumented immigrants who were accused of theft-related crimes. And it took a big step toward becoming law yesterday. The House voted to pass it, with 46 Democrats joining Republicans. If you want to see how your representative voted, we have a tool for that in our newsletter today. As usual, just follow the link in our show notes. It marks an awkward turnaround for Democrats. Some initially opposed the measure, but changed their position after the election. Other Democrats argue that the measure would do away with undocumented immigrants' right to due process after being accused of a crime. And there's no evidence that undocumented immigrants commit crimes at a higher rate than U.S. citizens. The bill now goes to Trump to sign. Number 4. A new fire erupted near Los Angeles yesterday. Just as the major wildfires that have ravaged the Los Angeles area were getting under control, a new threat emerged to the north of the city. The Hughes Fire was first reported just before 11 a.m. local time yesterday. By 10 p.m., it had exploded to more than 10,000 acres, fueled by strong winds. About 31,000 people were ordered to evacuate in and around the Castaic Lake area. Evacuation warnings border Santa Clarita, the residential area closest to the fire. Los Angeles County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney described efforts to contain the fire yesterday.
We have over 4,000 firefighting personnel assigned to the incident, and we had a very robust ground and air response to the incident that you see behind me.
Meanwhile, LA is beginning its long recovery from the previous fires. 27 deaths have been reported by the county medical examiner, and an estimated 22 people remain unaccounted for. Number 5. College enrollment has rebounded, surpassing pre-pandemic levels. The National Student Clearinghouse Research Center reported a 4.5% growth in enrollment at U.S. colleges and universities in fall of 2024. Undergraduate enrollment neared 16 million, and graduate enrollment climbed to 3.2 million. That puts total enrollment numbers higher than they were in fall of 2019, before the coronavirus pandemic disrupted higher education. The data released yesterday corrects a previous error from the clearinghouse. In October, the center said freshman enrollment had dropped 5%, but it later discovered that some college freshmen were incorrectly labeled as dual-enrolled in high school and college classes. Drinking coffee and tea may reduce your risk of some kinds of cancer. That's number 6. This is according to a new analysis. It found that drinking more than 4 cups of coffee daily is associated with a lower risk of head and neck cancer. If you're not into coffee, daily tea consumption of 1 cup or less appears to have a similar effect. There are more than 900,000 cases of head and neck cancer globally and over 400,000 deaths every year. It's not entirely clear why coffee and tea might help, but even decaffeinated coffee appeared to have positive impacts. So the results might not be based on the caffeine, but on other compounds found in coffee, such as polyphenols, which are antioxidants. So if you're listening to this and debating whether to have 4 cups of coffee today, here's your perfect excuse. Then you can stay up all night reading articles from the Washington Post. And at number 7. A man found a 2,000-year-old Greek statue in the place you'd least expect, next to some trash cans. Yesterday, police said the statue was discovered in a black bag near garbage bins in a town in northern Greece. An archaeologist determined that the statue dates back to the Hellenistic period. That lasted from 323 BC until 31 BC. The statue may depict a goddess, but she's looking a little worse for wear, missing her arms and head. Now, police would like to know how she ended up in the garbage. The authorities have launched an investigation into the potential illegal trafficking of ancient artifacts. So next time you're in Greece, keep your eyes peeled for any discarded ancient treasures. All right, you're all caught up. But I want to remind you about our newsletter. That's where you can find links to all the stories I talk about here on the podcast. It's also where you can see a photo of that tragic, abandoned Greek statue. You can have the 7 Morning Briefing delivered to your inbox early every weekday morning. All you have to do is sign up. It's totally free. Just hit the link in our show notes. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll be off tomorrow, but the lovely Christina Quinn will meet you back here then.